Hi everyone, I am Jedidah Chilufia Scalesa, and I am one of the mentors at the J&S Juniors and Seniors Institute and Mentoring Network. I'm also a PhD student working on my doctoral degree at the University of Massachusetts Amherst in biology. So this video is about goal setting. In particular, setting goals where they actually start happening today. Not we have to wait at the end of the year or whatever, but where they start happening today. And we're going to do this together. And so um, we want together to set goals for the year, whether it's going to be like the whole year or half a year or like a quarter of the year, whatever it is. Just want to like do this together and get past that like New Year's resolution failure because we know New Year's resolutions actually have a bad rep. We know at the beginning of the year, wanted to be so excited. Oh my gosh, this is my year. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm going to achieve this. And then 1 month happy and they're like, I haven't achieved anything. That's one of my resolutions. If that's back. So the thing is, so hopefully in this video we'll get past that, and together we'll actually try and set goals, and then make sure that's happening today. Okay, so I'm going to share a screen, and we do this together. All right, presentation mode. Okay, so one of the things that I learned and was told is that before you start planning for like what to do next, it's always good to reflect, look back and say, how did the past year go? How did the past months go? What did I achieve? What did I not achieve? What can I do differently? And so on and so forth. Okay. And then as you look back, you now think, okay, now I know what I should aim for, what I want to achieve, the things I want to happen, and then we can go forward. And then also like it's always good to like pray. Like the Bible says that like commit all your ways to God and it shall be established. And so yeah, so like that's like something that is actually like good for us. So now we can say, Lord, we commit our new year into your hands. We commit all our plans. May this year be the best year ever. Okay. And so again, yeah, so when this happens, people talk about New Year's resolutions, and there's nothing wrong with New Year's resolutions. I think the problem is like how we actually handle them. And so hopefully in this video we can actually get past that. And at the same time, at the beginning of the year, some people actually, it's the time where they get to write a vision board. So a vision board is just simply like where you put your goals, you convert your goals into images. So if you say, if this year I want to like buy a big house, you go on Google search, you say big mansion, and then you find a picture, you save it, cut it up, and then you put that picture on like a board, different pictures of different parts. If it's about like maybe being healthy, you get a picture of like someone in the gym. You get a picture of like money if you want to have like you want to increase your wealth. A picture of the company. So you put your goals and you put your goals all in images and put it on a board for you to actually look at. And so that's something that you can actually, if you like to do, it's a really good visual. And science studies have actually shown that the more you look at something, the more you actually like, it makes you actually kind of like work on it to actually achieve it. Okay, so that's for vision boards. And so there are many ways in which you can actually like set goals and make sure they happen. And I'm going to share with you agendas mentoring network. We use these general steps that are adopted from the National Center for Faculty Development and Diversity, NCFDD. Okay, and so 4 general steps. Step 1 is that think about everything you want to achieve, all your goals, all your dreams, all your ambitions, no matter how crazy they seem. Just like whatever comes to your mind, just write it down. So write it down or do a brain down. Okay, step 1. Step 2 is when you have all those things you wrote down, okay, you then have to get each of them and make action steps. And so think about what exactly should be done for this to be done, for this to be accomplished. How should this be done? When should this be done by? When should this start? What is the deadline? In other words, turn your goals into what I call SMART goals. I'll talk about that in a second. And then step 3 is where you then have to then, once you have those action steps, you then transfer your action steps into your timetable or your calendar. So at each day, each week, each month of your calendar, those things that you said you would do to accomplish that goal, are, are part of your life. And that way you start actually accomplishing, starting today. Okay. And then step four is you have to also do what we call a check-in, where because you have action steps, you have calendar, you have to check in every day to say, what am I doing today? What did I do yesterday? What needs to be done tomorrow? That way you keep on track. So you have to decide to do a check-in with yourself and also with someone else. How about this put an accountability partner? Where if you have like a trusted friend or a mentor, and that's where we come in. At Gender Center Network, we do go check in every week or every 2 weeks. Where it's just like share your goals with someone, say, oh, my goals for this week are to, start a business. And then a week later you say, oh, this is what happened, and these are my goals for next time. So these 4 steps are really useful in like making sure that when you set your goals, they actually do happen. Okay. So step one is we just have to write everything you want to achieve, you write them all down on a piece of paper. So, and yeah, and so like here, like, don't spend too long. Just like spend like 2 minutes, like whatever you think, just like write it down. And this is something that I think we all do. When you think about our resolutions, we're like, oh, this year I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You even write it down. We go to our church, and this is my year, these are my resolutions, you write them down. And the Bible does say, write down the vision. How about to write down the vision, make it plain, so that whoever reads it can run with it. It's a good starting point. And I think we're all good at this starting point. We know where to write it down. And for me, I like to do this in like different categories, and you can choose whatever works for you. So I have a category of like, what do I want to achieve academically and professionally, and what do I want to achieve personally and spiritually, what do I want to achieve socially and just like family wise. And you can put other things. You can have like a whole category of like health, or you can put family separate. So whatever it is, you can put you can even put like school separate from like career and profession. So whatever works for you, you can like have that category and then write down what you want to achieve. Okay. And so we'll pause here, take 5 minutes to write everything comes to our mind, and then we'll come back to the video. So I will do the same thing as you are also writing yours. So let's take 5. All right, welcome back. And so this is what I wrote down. Academic and professional goals. So the beginning of this year, the winter break just finished, and the spring semester is starting from like it's like end of January to like May, but it's like actually in this case February. So due to COVID, school opening was delayed, and so from February to May. And so my goal academically is to have a new spring semester daily routine, because there'll be classes, there's teaching, there's still family, there's mentoring, there's social life, there's friends, and all those things. I have to like, kind of like balance them and have like a new routine, because it's different from like the winter break, and it's different from the way it was like last semester, because I had different classes and stuff. So my goal is to have a new daily routine. My other goal professionally is to meet with my PhD committee. And yeah, so I have to figure that out. And then also, I have my goal is to finish writing my research manuscript, which I started last year. And then also, my goal is to read one research paper per day. So, as a researcher, PhD student, the goal is to read a paper every day. I have slacked. I need to get back to that. And also, my professional goal is that we grow our GMS mentoring community. Okay. For personal, I put 2 here. One is to join a weekly Bible study, and then next on the health is to exercise every day by doing something every day. And then for social and family, I put 1, which is to open a joint family savings account. Okay, so that was step 1. Step 2, for each of these things, you then have to then make action steps. Okay, think about the what, the how, the when. And this is where most of us fail. For our New resolutions, we stop at step 1. We're like, this, that, before I fit, January 1, to Alemba. and then we forget. December 31st, we're like, nothing happened, nothing worked. You have to make action steps. Turn your goals into smart goals. And the Bible, when it's going to try around that, James 2:17, that faith that works is dead. Like when you say, I want this, you're like, God, by faith, I want to do this, I want to achieve this. And then you stop there. You still have to do something. You do something, and then God actually does the rest. He helps you through your works. And even though sometimes like it's not really like what you do, you would still like use like a different means to help you achieve something, but you still have to do something about it. So you have to make action steps, do something about it. Okay. So SMART, the acronym for S is for specific. Make those actions, be very specific. If I say I want to have a new daily routine, what exactly are you talking about? So for me, the new daily routine involves a lot of things. What happens in a day? What happens in a day? In a day, there's from like waking up all the way to sleeping. What kind of things should happen in that day? So I have to know like that's the what. So that I say I want to do these things in a day so that it becomes a routine. And then how? Be specific. If they say I'm going to like work, I'm going to cook, I'm going to do this, like some things like need to be very specific, like how are you actually going to do it? And then the when is like the time. Like is it going to be in the morning, in the afternoon? How long is it? How short is it? Like you have to be very, very specific. And so that's how we actually make action steps for each of these goals. And then I have an example of like also my goal to make it my PhD committee is that if I say I want to do my PhD committee and I stop there, then nothing will happen. I'll just keep saying, I want to meet my PhD committee. And then 3 months, yeah, I want to meet my PhD committee. 6 months. But then like, what? When? When do you want to meet them? What is exactly like your range? If I don't put like a deadline, I don't put a time, like this is when this should be done, it will just keep going. Am I yes? And we don't want that. So what date am I thinking of roughly? And then what is this committee going to be about? So for PhD committee meetings, it's a meeting where you present your research update, like what you did like since the last meeting that you had. So I have to figure out like what do I want to present? What progress in my research am I going to present? And that's going to help me know at the time. Do I need to like do more experiments? Do I need to repeat? Should I do it now or should I wait a little later? And it's going to actually determine like what date I'm going to choose for that. Okay, and so those are only a few examples. For this, I also have examples of like creating a research paper, growing a DNS community, mentoring community, and in this case, because of COVID, we've now gone like virtual. So with the what are like all the different virtual platforms, there's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And what do I mean by grow? But by growing, what we mean is by having subscribers and followers. And what exactly are we aiming for? Let's say we grow. We grow what? We grow to two. We're going to go to three. We're going to go to like 1,000 to 2,000, 2,000 subscribers. And so like that, these are our goals. So we're being very, very specific. Okay. Yeah. So do Zumba every day. So again, I have to be specific. What time of day? How am I gonna do the Zumba? The Zumba is it gonna be like just playing music or watching a YouTube video or doing it with friends, doing it over Zoom, which I used to do, doing it over WhatsApp. I used to do that actually. How long is it gonna be? Am I doing Zumba for 1 hour in the morning or 30 minutes? Like to have it very specific. And then I also had a goal of joining a Bible study with a Bible study. And so I did. And so I'm excited about that. I actually was able to join a women's Bible study. So very excited about that. Um, yeah. Okay. So now some details into like the new routine that I was talking about. So what exactly do we mean by new semester daily routine? Okay, so the what are all those different components. So like wake up, wadia, punchto, waipika, we do this, wawela, what like everything. First write them all down and then plan what time should this happen. So remember, these are plans. Sometimes, like me, I used to be like, oh, I wake up at 5. You make a plan, and then I go it's like by the time, like it's hard to wake up at 5. So, but it's okay. Like if you have a plan, you know, even if you fail, you're almost close to it. So like it's good to always take this thing. So anyway, so for me, this is what I had. I wake up and I pray. I make sure that should be 6 a.m. Is my goal. And then before I have breakfast, I should spend at least like an hour or like 30 minutes reading and writing, research related work. I cook breakfast. I go to work, and then I once I go to work, I do my teaching, my classes, my research, my experiments. I also have like weekly updates. I go back home, I cook dinner, and I spend time with my husband. When do I do family calls? When do I hang out with my friends? When do I do mentoring? And when do I spend time on social media? What time do I sleep? I'm really having a hard time figuring out what time is good. Like I really think that I need to like put a time aside just for like WhatsApp. And it takes too much time. It's kind of like my only like my official personal social media. Like now I'm doing like all these social media platforms, the YouTube, Twitter, um, Facebook, because of our mentoring. But like my own personal thing is like it's WhatsApp, and I feel like I just like I need to figure out like I just need like a time to say this is my time for WhatsApp, and so I will not be like available like the whole time. So my apologies in advance that I will not be like I need to like really cover out my time and say like this is sorry, my phone is off, I'm offline and stuff, but I haven't figured that out. So I'm gonna figure that out. I think grace of God. Okay. Yeah. And then also PhD committee, I actually like put this, but I won't bore you with all the experiments and stuff that I need to do. And then for Zumba, I also had to figure out like, okay, what type of Zumba am I going to do? What time of day? So for what type of Zumba here, I'm not very picky. I just like kind of like choose videos on so YouTube video is the one that I do. So YouTube video is kind of easy. Let's come downstairs, I turn on the TV. I just ask and say YouTube Zumba, and like when there's the things come up, and I always look for like short videos. So what I've done for me in the past, kind of like about 4 minutes videos, and I repeat them like 3 times or 4 times. And the morning works best for me. For how long? Total at least about like 20, 30 minutes. Yeah. And so I was able to actually start that. And my goal is to do it every day, but I started step by step. I used to do it every day. At some point, I used to do Zumba every day, but I just became lazy. So now I'm going back, but I have to do step by step. So I have to do like twice a week first, and then increase it 3 times a week, then 4 times, and then 5 times. So the whole week I have to do, and then maybe like 4 days and a Saturday, or 5 days and a Saturday. So Sunday is the day where I don't do any Zumba. Okay. Then once you do the action thing, then you have to now the third step, transfer the action steps to your calendar or your timetable. Because we want you to start doing these things today. Well, you know what, on Monday, I am doing this that is going to help me towards my goal. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so on and so forth. Yeah. But you have to remember that before you transfer those action steps, is that in your calendar as a whole year, and then you break it down to month, you break it down to like week, and break it down to a day. There are other existing things that happen that are already in your calendar that you can't ignore. So you have to first think about all those things from the whole picture, like a whole year. Either if you're doing like a whole year or like 6 months or like 3 or 4 months, think about the whole picture first of what's existing in the whole year before you put what your plans are. Like there are things like birthdays, um, weddings, kitchen parties, appointments, events, school calendar, work, just like different things that are already there. So if you don't put those first, you might plan to say, oh, I'm going to spend the whole day, going to the gym on a Saturday. What if that day is always like there's a kitchen party, there's a wedding? So if you don't consider those things, then you won't actually get to do what you want to do. Okay, so first consider what's already in your calendar. And for me, I do that by first checking the the university calendar of like what happens, like yeah, this like yeah, the university calendar. In addition to like what I already know, like birthdays in my family, events that are happening around me, um, other work-related things, friends, events, and everything. And then I also put the school calendar. So let's take a screenshot of the spring 2021 women's calendar because for me, I'm setting goals for the spring semester, which starts in February and it ends in May. And so all these things here, you can like have to like take note of them. Some of them actually don't really like affect, what my goals will be, but like I just like try to put what I can in there. And so this is what I actually have is that yeah, so first you set the whole year of what you're planning for. If you're planning from January to December, you have to put January all the way to December. So for me, I'm planning from February to May. And these are the existing things that are there. I know that February 1st, school starts, and then May the 12th, school ends. A few school events happening there. And then I already know like family events and everything, birthdays um, and so on and so forth. So you start from there. Then you know what you're working with. And then you go down. So from the year, you go down to the month. And so, okay, fine, this is the month now. I want to get each month. In February, how many weeks do I have? There's 4 weeks. So I say, okay, so fine, I've got 4 weeks to work with for my goal. This helps you like spread out your action steps so that you know that you have like you can like spread down like evenly and you can actually achieve your goals like throughout the whole time. So in February, I know we have 4 weeks, and the first week the semester starts. So I have to like keep that in mind. Maybe the first week the semester starts, there might be so many things happening, orientation, like classes, like family things. Like you have to think about all those things. March has 5 weeks, April has 4.5, May has 4.5. So overall here you look and say fine. So here I'm planning for how many weeks? That's like 18, 27. Wait, hold on. Oh, that's 9. 9 and 18. So this is 18 weeks. So I'm like, wow, with 18 weeks to work with. Even though the semester ends the beginning of May, but here the whole month of May is actually 4.5 weeks. So you did the whole year, you did the whole month, and now can like go like individual month and specifying. So if I have to plan February now, I'm going month by month. February has 4 weeks. Okay. So here, March has March has 4 weeks. Oh, March has 5 weeks. So that's my bad. March has 5 weeks. I actually didn't edit this. I was copying and pasting. So this should be March, 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 and the 5th March. And then yeah, so then in these spaces now, that's where you put like what your goals are. So for example, if it's like for my goal for like doing Zumba every day, I will know that from Saturday to Sunday this week, I have to put like the first week starts from what day to what day. So actually, I have to look at that in the calendar. So yeah, so that's something we have to do. So February, the first week, the first week is the first. So you have to put 1 and it ends on the 6th. Okay, so I just have to stop here. So that's first to 6th. Okay, that's week 1. Week 2 is 7 to 13. Okay, week 3 is the 14th to 20th, and so on and so forth. Okay, 5 weeks. It should be March. If it's easier, like just like to copy and paste. Oh no. Let's do it. Okay, and do the same thing for March. So and that's the 21, 27. So then February is 20 to 27. And then March, 5 weeks. When does this start? Is March 1st to 6th, almost the same thing. So March, that's 1st to 6th, and so on and so forth. So when you put this in here, okay, put this in here, then you can actually okay, yeah. So when you put this in here, then you can start planning to say, fine, if I say I'm going to do Zumba, so in February on the 2nd or the 6th, it will be Zumba. So I put Zumba, Zumba on like the 2nd or like the 3rd. So and then in the second week, February 13th, how many times am I going to do Zumba? February 14th to 20th, when am I going to do Zumba? And you plan like that. And you're keeping in mind that you should also put the things which are already there. So for me, in the February 1st, I should also put that what's happening here is school is opening, one thing. Two, I'm putting my Zumba plans, I'm putting my PhD plans, I'm putting my Bible study plans. So at the end of the day, I'm going to populate this thing with all the different aspects. And that's what's kind of like, it's good for you to kind of like visualize. Sometimes you think that you have to remember that everyone, as you're having our goals, other things are happening. And so if you don't plan of how you do all the different things together, you fail to even put your own goals because other things are happening. And so the whole point of this is for you to actually indicate all the different things that should happen in each of these weeks, including the things that are already there and the things that you actually want to do. So as you do this goal by goal, like you first have like let's say start with like all your personal and health goals, you put them there. Next you come back and you put your spiritual goals, spiritual action steps, you put them there. Then you put your academic ones, then you put your social ones, then you put your family. And so you can see it can actually be a lot, and that's fine. But if you know beforehand, it will just like make you like be prepared and you actually get to do it. Okay. And so the same thing for April. April, Sunday to Saturday. What happens? What dates do we have in week one, in week two, week three, week four, week five, and then what things are actually happening in those days, and what goals do you have for that one? Then that way you've actually planned for the whole thing. Okay. So that was down month by month. Then you come down now go to your week one. Okay, so remember we said the whole year first, then all the months together, and then each month, and now we're going to the week. So the week here is something like you think about your timetable. Okay, so and this is where like you have this as an overview, but then things change every week. That's why you always have to kind of like have like do a check-in with someone so you can like think about things with structure week by week. So overall, how does your overall week look like? So for me, when the semester is starting, this is kind of like what I know so far, but I have to populate this thing. So Sunday in the morning there's church. Afternoon, I get to stay out with like husband quality time, and also get to like family calls. And then I was just thinking about like my classes. Monday, Wednesday, Friday this semester, I have to teach a class, and then I have to go to my own class. I know there's a lab meeting happening that is existing there. I have to mentor students in the lab. We have a seminar class. I have to do weekly COVID tests. So that's the only way. And I have to get a negative test to like go on campus. So um, I'm gonna set that for Friday, and I do research updates. Girls hang out on Friday. Saturday is like my boss check-in and just like doing mentoring. So this is what like I said off to say this is how my week should look like, and some things stay the same each week by week, but some things actually change. Okay, so then now I have to put everything here. The Zumba. Where does the Zumba come in? I put the Zumba here. Where does like yeah, the PhD committee action steps go. Other routine things here that I put there that I have to put like what time do I wake up, what time do I cook, what time do I go to school, spend time with my husband. Yeah, I have to spend time with like friends, phone calls. I have to put all that here. Okay, so then you have your weekly. So now that you have this week one, okay, you can't now you have to then figure out a check-in. So step four, do a check-in where each week, each week you have all these things that I will need to do list. You can't rely on just like your mind, like you say, I'm here with Isha. I was once like that. I was just like, I came to the US and like everybody around me is like, always like with a calendar and like my checking. They're like, oh, and I'm just like, what's wrong with these people? Like what? Like, do you have to rely on your phone to remind you things you have to do? Oh my gosh, yes, you do. We do because with all these things happening, you can't possibly remember. I have a planner, where I put like my things to do, and so this is kind of like what reminds me. Well, I can still do like, let's see if I have it today. Yeah. Well, I can still do like electronic. I'm also old school. I like to write things down. That way, if someone tells me, "Oh, JD, we should meet here. We should meet at this time," I'm not like double booking because like I'll have to check and say, "Okay, fine, let me see if there's anything there." And if they're making plans, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, let's meet in 2 weeks." I have to write it down and or put it on my phone on my calendar, and then so I'd like when time comes, somebody else, if I want to have a meeting, that is actually like not um conflicting. So anyway, do a check-in with yourself. You have to decide what time of day every day you will check your your to-do list. Say Monday, this is what do I need to do? What did I do yesterday? What do I need to do tomorrow? And so you have to have that check-in. And so for me, I decided that yeah, so it can be morning, evening, during the day, and as long as you do it every day. And for me, sometimes the morning before breakfast works, but sometimes just before going to bed also works for me. And then the second is that you have to now also do a check-in with a mentor or the trusted friend. And so this is where you have to like figure out like decide to say like maybe like once a week or once in 2 weeks. You can like have like a goal setting chat with someone and say, okay, fine, my goal this week was to, exercise 2 times a week. How do you go? Oh no, Monday I managed, Wednesday something happened, Friday this has happened. I'm going to do this coming time. You share goals together, you encourage each other, give each other tips, and that's how you actually keep on track with your goals. And so for me, my accountability story, so this is like having an accountability partner. My accountability partner is one, a JMS mentor, and then also a second is a close friend. So, and my goal is to do this weekly. Yeah, so these are the 4 steps. So I hope that this has been useful to you. And if you need to have a accountability partner, we're here. Reach out to us. We're on Pinterest, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and also on YouTube, as you know. And so we can be accountability partners. And here is to setting goals for your academic, for your academic or professional, your personal as well, and your social, wait, academic, personal, and professional or career goals. And so let's do this. See you in the next video.